set. All right, so we are doing 2-10. Markup, discount, and commission. Okay, so markup and discount are things that happen in everyday life all the time in the stores that you and your parents visit every day. Okay, so let's just talk about what those things are. So, markup is the percent of an item's cost that is increased I'll leave it at that. Okay, percent of an item's cost that is increased. Okay. The discount is just the opposite. The discount is the percent of an item's cost that is decreased. When you're shopping, you want a discount, right? You don't want to pay full price for things. I don't. Okay? So, some things that can go into markup. Markup is what a store, there's a difference between what a store pays for an item and what you pay for that item. And the difference in between those two things is their profit, right? So, we'll explain that a little bit more. So, some examples of markup would also be a tax, right? Tip at a restaurant, that's another form of a markup. And then in some jobs you have something called commission. Okay? And typically what that is, it's the percent of a sale that is added to a set amount. Okay, we'll explain that more in a little bit. Okay, so I want you to think about full price for something is 100%. Full price equals 100%. Okay? Marisol, if we have a markup, is it going to add to that percent? Or actually what I want to ask you is how do you write 100% as a decimal? 1, right? Equals 1.00. Perfect. Okay. For markup, you're going to have 100% plus the markup percent and you multiply that by the original amount or price. For a discount, it's just the opposite. So it's 100% minus the discount percent. So what I think about in the store is I don't think about the percent that I'm saving. I think about the percent I'm actually paying. If they're giving me a discount of 20%, it means I get to pay 80%. That's how I think of it. Okay? Times the original price. All right, so let's do an example. If Scandinavian Designs over here around the corner buys a couch, store buys a couch for $1,000 and with a markup of 75%. How much do they sell it for? Okay, because they've decided they're going to make a 75% profit on that couch, which is about right. Furniture is marked up a lot. Luggage is marked up a lot. Jewelry is marked up a lot. Okay, so Allison, are we going to add our, oh, she's not here. Sorry, Eleni. Are we going to add our markup percent or subtract our markup percent? We're going to add it, right? So we're going to have 100% plus the 75%. And what was the original cost of that couch? What's the original cost of that couch? What did it cost the store? Oh, $1,000. Okay, sorry, you can't read it. $1,000. Okay. So here's the easy part. What's 100 plus 75? 175%. Okay. Times 1,000. I'm going to show you the easy way to do this. So what's 175 times 1? 175. And then how many zeros do I add? 3. 1, 2, 3. When you change a percent to a decimal, how many spaces and what direction do you need to move the decimal? From a percent to a decimal? To the left. 1, 2. So that couch is going to cost you $1,750. Pretty easy, yeah? Here we go. Okay. So let's do an example of discount. These are my favorite. Okay, so my favorite jeans that I like to buy, that I only buy when they're on sale. On sale for 30% off the regular price. Oops, regular. Price of $65. So, Courtney, are we going to add our percentage or subtract our percentage if it's a discount? We're going to subtract it, right? So, what's 100 minus 30%? What's that? 70%. And what's the original price of the jeans? $65. So we're going to multiply it by $65. Okay? So 70 times 65. So we can multiply that. So we know there's going to have a 0 in the end, right? So Courtney, what's 7 times 5? 35. Carry that little 3. What's 7 times 6? Plus 3. 45. How many places do I need to bring the decimal back? 2 places, which direction? To the left. 1, 2. So I get my $65 jeans for $45.50 before taxes. Okay. How are we doing? Good. All right, so let's do an example of tax. Okay. You're going to go buy a new TV that's $800. $800 TV, and the tax rate is 8%. It's actually more than that right now. In Vacaville, anyway. It's different depending on where you live. And it's different if you're in a different state, if you're in a different county. It just depends. Okay? So, bless you. Hannah, am I going to add that percentage to the price or subtract it? You're going to add it, right? So we have 100% plus 8% times what, Hannah? How much does the TV cost? Huh? 800. Good. What's 100 plus 8? 108 times 800. Because I have 2 zeros there, I know that it's going to end in 2 zeros. Hannah, what's 8 times 8? 64. What's 8 times 0? Plus 6. And 8 times 1? 8. How many spaces do I need to bring the decimal back? 2. 1, 2. So that is going to cost me $864. How much of that money is the tax? $64. Good. Welcome to the real world, children. Okay. Tip. Shh. Okay, so I took the kids out to dinner, and the bill was $40. $40 bill for dinner. And I want to tip 20%, which is about what I usually tip. Actually, a lot of times I tip more than that. 15% used to be standard. 20% I would say is pretty standard now. Okay, so Mariah, am I adding that 20% to the bill or taking it away? Adding it, right? Because that's going to your server and all the rest of the people involved. So we're going to have 100% plus 20%, which is how much, Mariah? 120% times what was the amount of dinner? $40. Okay? So here's the easy thing. What's 4 times 12, Mariah? If not, it's okay. What's 4 times 2? Shh. What's 4 times 2? And what's 4 times 1? 4. And how many zeros do I have? 2. And how many spaces do I need to bring back my decimal? 2. So if I'm going to tip 20%, I'm going to pay $48. How much does she get in a tip? $8, right? Okay, so 20%, Mariah, here's to answer your question. So you want to know, why do you divide by 5? Because that is how I figure out my tips. Okay? 20% written as a percentage, as a fraction, is 20 over 100, right? Can you reduce that? Well, how many times does 20 go into 100? 5 times, right? So multiplying by a fifth is the same thing. If I took that and multiplied by $40, right? That's the same thing as 40 divided by 5. That's why I can divide by 5. Because every 20% is a fifth of the whole amount. That's a really easy way to do tip. You just take the bill, round it up to the nearest dollar, and divide by 5. Super easy. You might be off by a few cents, but give the extra cents to your server, because they're working hard, and you might be one of those someday. Okay. All right, so let's talk about commission. So, especially in jobs that involve sales, commission is really common. So you might get $500 a week pay, flat pay, plus 5% commission. Okay? And say in a week you sell $2,500 worth of product. Okay? So, I picked on you. Ty. So, you're going to get your $500 no matter what. Okay? Plus, out of that $2,500, you're going to multiply that by what's your commission percent that you get? 5%. Okay, so this is a little different than the other types of increase and decrease. So, Ty, what's 5 times 25? If you have 5 quarters, what do you have? Right, so 5 times 25 is 125. How many zeros do I have to add to it? 2. And how many spaces do I bring the decimal back? 2. So in addition to my $500 flat pay, I also get an extra $125. So for that week, I would get paid $625. Okay? That's it.